This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.
Hey everybody, it's your old pal Rob. Now after some pretty, not heated, but very passionate talks about the recent Descent 3rd edition, it made me think about how we are with dungeon crawls. And I do the same thing. I don't know what we're looking for. Okay? I'm not trying to make excuses for Descent. That's a train wreck, I think, looking to happen. I may be wrong. I put my foot in my mouth plenty of times. But ultimately, what are we looking for in a dungeon crawl? And I think when you think of certain games, you know, and dungeon crawls are very unique to gaming, I think. Because when you think of a pirate game, a lot of you will think of Merchants and Marauders, or maybe some people are very passionate about Blackbeard. But for the most part, when you think of a certain genre, I can't get the word out, sorry. You're going to, you know, a sports game, you're going to think of certain things like Blood Bowl, Techno Bowl, okay? As a couple of really standard games, and everybody can kind of almost agree on that. Deck builders or fighting games or certain games that there are things that will stick. But with dungeon crawls, it almost seems like everybody's so torn about things. Take a look at Swords and Sorcery. You even mentioned that game. There are people that absolutely love it, and there's people that absolutely hate it. Hate it. There's no in between. That's a video for another time, though. Make sure you check that one out. Gloomhaven. People. Here's a game with the story that will take you a year to finish. Okay, without a doubt. Madara, the same thing. And yet people are torn at times about that. Either they'll really love it, or well, no, the Japanese RPG thing isn't for me, which I love anyways. You know, take a look at Chronicles of Drungor. Beautiful game that you can keep in front of you and everything like that. It has so many things, and then you hear other people going, well, it's kind of fiddly. Okay, Warhammer Quest. Okay, the original. Well, it's outdated. We never seem to be settled on the thing that we want. You know, either we'll get a game, there's not enough story. Well, Shadows of Brimstone has more story than you'll ever have, and as much content as you ever have. Well, I don't like the Western theme as much. Oh, there's too much. I'm never going to paint it all. And this seems to be a reoccurring theme, that no matter what comes out, we never seem satisfied. Dungeon Crusade, too big, too complicated, I don't like the fighting. Okay. Dungeon Universalis. Okay. Huge, great sandbox game. There's too much. There's not enough. There's this, there's that. There's no miniatures. There's no. We never settle in and can define one game as the ultimate dungeon crawl game, the one that is going to be the standard bearer. Some people will go Hero Quest, but then you have two sides of the fence. Well, it's too simple. This is a beer and pretzel dungeon crawl. Oh no, this is great because you can make your own, you know, and there are just so many different sides of the fence as far as, you know, dungeon crawls. What are we looking for? Are we looking for a story? Okay, are we looking for replayability, that the story never ends, that you can create your own stories? You know, all the different things. Are we looking for beautiful models? Are we looking for a classic fantasy setting? Okay? You know, I find myself doing the same thing at times. Okay? And going, wow, this is great, but there's not enough of it. Or, oh, I wish this was more, you know, not in their universe, but in a D&D universe. Oh, there's this, there's that. You know, there's always something wrong, it seems, and we're never satisfied as dungeon crawl enthusiasts. We never find that game that does it all for us. You know, 4 Against Darkness. Oh, well, it's pen and paper. It's fun. There's so many supplements. I've had people write me, it's okay, but I'm looking for something more immersive. Okay. D100, another fantastic game. Okay. Doesn't, you know, I get, when I talk about dungeon crawls, it is probably one of the subjects that I get so many different inputs from. And the only thing that we've agreed upon is that Descent Legends of the Dark is not going to be very good, at least so far. Now we're still keeping open minds for it, but we're already negative on it. Okay, we're looking forward to Cursed City, another huge negative, because it wasn't like the original Warhammer Quest. We were hoping for that, where we can develop our own. You know, I really envy people that try to make a dungeon crawl, because there are just so many things that people are looking for, that want, and I think it's hard to put all in one box. Does Dungeon Crusade do too much for some people? Yeah. You know, people are overwhelmed with it. You know, and it's one of those things that a lot of times I hear, well, you know, there's nothing out there that you like. Just just go spend $20, go get yourself a dungeon master guide and do Dungeons and Dragons and create your own dungeon crawls. Yeah, you can do that. But people are also looking for immense solo experiences, as well as experience that have a group where they can play with their group. There's so many different things that go with this and tear people, you know, just split people apart. And I wonder how you guys feel about it. Am I off? Am I completely out of my mind with this? I don't think so, because I see it on a daily Descent. Let's just talk about those 3 versions right there. There are some people that are so passionate about the first edition. I love the first edition. There are people that love the second edition and everything that it does with the app. And then there are people that are saying, well, you know, I don't like the second edition. I'm looking forward to this third edition. There's no... I mean, it's glaring how much the difference is. There are card games that are dungeon crawls, Dungeoneer and stuff like that. Well, I want more. I want, like I said, miniatures, or I want more depth to it. I don't want something quick. And then there's people that want something quick. I don't want to spend an entire afternoon. It doesn't have solo. How, you know, what fun is that? And this really is polarizing in a way, and really talks about what is going on in the dungeon crawl community to some degree. And now, the dungeon crawl community, that's a whole nother thing. When we're not even going to get into that, okay, with certain individuals. But I think deep down, we haven't gotten that ultimate dungeon crawl. Okay, that game where everybody is in agreement. This is the benchmark. This is that game that is going to set the pace. For me, it always was the original Warhammer Quest. But I'm a sentimentalist, and that game means a lot to me for many different reasons. Hero Quest was good, but again, it always felt like it was missing something. And you know, there's a lot of games that a lot of people go, hey, I can only take my character this far, and then I gotta wait for other content, which I never get, because either the game didn't do well, or the game did well enough and they want to revamp it and call it a 2, where you can't bring your characters over, and they just rehash things. there are so many different things. I don't know what would take to make the ultimate dungeon crawl. Now, there's no way I can make it because I'm not a designer, nor do I think I ever could design anything fantastic. But what are some of the things that you guys think would make the ultimate dungeon crawler? Is there a game out there that you feel is the ultimate dungeon crawler? Personally, I really like Chronicles of Drungor. I think for me that hits all my boxes, checks all my boxes on things, and I want more. But is there a ton of replayability? Warhammer Quest, that's another one that really, but do we keep on looking for something new? Do we keep on looking for more? And in the year where I really feel that the dungeon crawler is really having a resurgence beyond human belief, not that it ever went away or anything like that, but with all the beautiful stuff that is coming out this year, and God knows there's plenty more. Deepwood is coming, which Oathsworn, which I can only imagine how great that's going to be. And there are other things, and people keep on telling me, "Oh, you got to check this out, this out." And there are plenty of wonderful things coming. What is going to make the ultimate dungeon crawl? Is it going to be a never-ending story, being able to create your own stories, beautiful miniatures, tons of tiles that you can recreate and make whatever you want, playability with a certain amount of players, a fantastic AI for solo? All these 5 things, what is going to be that? Are you looking for a new universe, or maybe possibly just an old classic type of dungeon crawl feel, like early D&D feel? I want the fighter, I want the mage, I want the thief, I want the magician, the wizard. Go down with those 4 guys. Okay, maybe 5 with a cleric. Of course, you want a paladin because I love paladins. But what are you looking for there? Is that what you're looking for? What is going to make the ultimate dungeon crawl for you? Is it coming out? Has it already come out? I would love to see your comments below and see what you think, because this is a very unique subject where other games, Ultimate War game, how could you not go with like a Panzer leader or a squad leader? These are games that are foundation games. And yeah, you could say that Hero Quest could be a foundation game, but a lot of people don't consider that. Where there's a lot of people that would take a look at Squad Leader and some of the bookcase Avalon Hill case games such as Panzer Leader, Panzer Blitz, and consider those benchmark games, Tactics 2, and everybody has an affinity for it. I think the same can be said of Hero Quest, but the lack of depth in order to develop character and so forth and so on sometimes pulls away from that type of thing. So I would love to hear what you guys think. Maybe maybe I'm just getting a different feel from everybody, but boy, you guys don't get all the emails and the comments that I read on a daily basis, and how torn apart this one subject is as far as dungeon crawlers are. So tell me what you think below in the comments, and until next time, it's your old pal Rob saying, we'll see you soon.